everybody. Um, Welcome to our Let's Talk for Anastasia. We may or may not have
Ooh.
a TV. She's not feeling the best, so she'll join us if she starts feeling better. Otherwise, it'll just be me and Cody here.
We're talking about a movie that apparently someone was cutting onions in my room when I was done watching it. So
The 1997 Anastasia, which was originally not owned or done by Disney. It was actually one of those films that everybody thought was a Disney movie, but it was not a Disney movie because I believe the lead creator was Don Bluth. I could be wrong, but it was either him or another artist who worked at Disney, and then they left Disney and they
mhm.
started making a bunch of their own. So there was like a bunch of movies around the time that were very in the style of Disney animation, but it was not. Chris, as you could tell, it wasn't because of the CG. I did not know that that was a marker, but that makes sense.
Yeah,
Hello, Kelly and hi, RP. I don't know what Anastasia by Miles Kennedy featuring Slash sounds like, unfortunately. Uh,
I
Disney has since then, Disney since then has bought the studio that owned those movies, so they are Disney movies now, which is always confusing for me because I spent so many years being like, oh, reminding myself, like, oh yeah, no, Anastasia's not a Disney movie, so she's not a
yeah,
Disney princess.
I
Technically.
do remember. I do know that. Like, I never watched Anastasia, but I knew of its existence, and I knew it wasn't a Disney movie, but it's by Disney people. So like when I started it, my brain was like, that I for 2 seconds, my brain's like, Disney movie, click, Studio Fox. Oh no. Oh wait, no, this is the right one.
Yes. Um, we decided to do this one for this month largely because of an inside joke where I don't remember the whole conversation, but we were talking about romance movies and we started joking about like Disney princess movies being romance movies and stuff. And
Mhm.
Anastasia was thrown out as an option. And then we were like, wait, no, that's not Disney. And then it's like, oh, and it's not a romance, or is it a romance movie? And so then when we decided to pick a romance movie for February, we were like, well, might as well pick Anastasia because it had just been too long since I saw it. And I was like, I need to see it so that I can know. So,
I wish I watched it sooner because I forgot it was a musical.
yes, Anastasia is one of those movies where for every single time I sit down to watch it, I'm like excited to watch it, and then I remember that I just really like the music a lot more than I do the actual movie. But
The
it's
music's really good.
it is. Anastasia was also my first. So the movie itself is very loosely based on the Romanov family, which is the last czar of Russia. Like Russia revolted against the Romanovs, and then they haven't had a czar since. Excuse me.
Mhm.
It is believed that Rasputin was some sort of like he was a real person in history, and there's a lot of like rumors, and he's got like his own lore. They believe he was a magic man. Others believe he was just somebody who was very politically manipulative. Either way, he's credited for the downfall of the Tsar family, and there are rumors that Anastasia, the princess, survived, but like there's
Oh,
no credible evidence that she survived from what I remember. I didn't like re-look
okay.
into it and stuff. But this was my first exposure to Anastasia and Rasputin and all of that. And watching it with my dad, as I did, my dad always made sure when we watched the cartoons and stuff, he was like, so this is how it actually happened in history. So, and I was like, but I like the guy in the movie. He's
But I like the
he's
funny pictures.
he's voiced by I believe it's I believe it's Christopher Lee, It's Doc from
Hmm.
Back to the Future does his voice.
I can hear it. I can hear that.
I also like the little bat who
I I
freezing
love
too.
Barkus so much. I love him.
But yeah, so the plot of the movie, because I guess we should summarize that, is we start off with it giving us the little history lesson about the Romanov family and a very sanitized view of them having like a ball and party and stuff, and the poor citizens being angry and being led to revolt through the magical manipulations. Christopher Brown, sorry, Christopher Lee is Sauron the White. I mixed them up.
How
But
dare you?
I know, I'm so sad. So many Christophers in Hollywood. And oh, my brain just. Oh yeah, the in the movie it is portrayed that Rasputin specifically was mad at the Romanov family, and so he sold his soul for the Romanov curse, and that is what made the peasants revolt. And then everybody was killed except for Anastasia, whom almost escaped with her grandmother, but got hit in the. They got separated in the crowd. She was hit in the head and lost her memory. Grew up in an orphanage. There was notably a servant boy who helped her almost escape. That's important because Dimitri comes back
Ah,
later.
oh, the servant boy.
Rasputin is decaying away in a hell cave of some sort because the Romanov curse has not finished because there is a single Romanov alive. Now, her grandmother is alive in Paris, and that confused me as a child because I was like, wouldn't the grandma need to die too? But my dad
Yeah.
explained it's her grandmother, her maternal grandmother. So the
Mm,
grandmother does not have Romanov blood. So, but
that's not
Dimitri and I forget his partner's name.
um. I want to say it's Vlad.
Yes, Vlad. Dimitri and Vlad are two con men who are looking for an actress to play the lost Duchess Anastasia because her
Anastasia.
Anastasia, yeah, Anastasia, because her grandmother has a huge reward for anybody who can find her because she believes she is alive. And Dimitri and Vlad happen to find her after a long day of auditioning women who they do not think will suit the role. They don't realize it's the real Anastasia, and they con her into going with them because they're like, well, best case scenario, you are her and you're reunited with your grandma. Worst case scenario, you go to Paris for free.
Yeah.
And
And you want to go to Paris, so.
she was like, win-win. And she's got a dog named Puka that she takes with her.
I
Uh,
thought that dog's name was Polka for a while,
oh.
and then I turned on subtitles because I realized I couldn't hear anything, and it said Puka, and I said, "Oh, that's not what I thought."
So they first take a train, and then they realize that their forged passports are in the wrong ink color, so they have to get off that plane, and then they get on a boat, but then they almost die on the boat. Like throughout most of this, Rasputin has figured out that Anastasia's alive, and so he's been sending little ghosty demons to try to kill her. And they keep failing, so he's just like, I'll just go myself. I'll kill her in person. And throughout the journey, Dimitri and Anastasia also they like it's very low stakes enemies to lovers. Like they just kind of don't get along. And Vlad's like, oh no, it's the romantic tension and stuff. And they're like, what? No, that doesn't make sense. Then they get there. We see the Empress Dowager, who is her grandmother, and Sophie,
Mhm.
who is the grandmother's, I don't know, good friend and confidant.
I thought he said cousin.
They might be cousins. Yeah, that might be.
I think Vlad said it was a cousin,
And
and then that's
Sophie
when
has
he's like. Aren't we gonna go
Sophie's been
see
like
her?
she's the initial interviewer of the Anastasias. So they have to get through Sophie, and then once they get through Sophie, they can meet with the Empress. But the Empress is kind of like, she's done. She doesn't want to meet any of them. What horrible timing for our trio. They get there, Vlad and Sophie. They got something going. They're the real romance of this movie. I love them.
I love them so much. They're
They're
so fucking
so great.
cute.
Also, like, I love that this movie showcases a variety of body types and that Sophie is allowed to be thicker and loving herself. Like, she is
Hmm.
fashionable. She is
Oh my god, Sophie's so
very,
cute. I love her.
yeah, like she's flirty, she's confident. I adore Sophie. She's my favorite character. She gives the interview, which she goes through the trouble of giving the interview and stuff, and then tells them, but the Empress Dowager isn't seeing any more Anastasias. And then Vlad like sweet talks her into telling them that they're going to the Russian ballet because they never missed the Russian ballet. During the interview, Anastasia was asked, Sophie asked her, she's like, how did you escape? Anastasia says there was a servant boy who opened up the wall, and then second guesses herself because she's like, that sounds crazy. That's like, that doesn't make any sense. There's no wall or anything, right? And he's like, Dmitri, who was the servant boy, realizes this is the real Anastasia. And so his mission sort of stops being about getting the money and just being about reuniting Anastasia and the grandma. And he
Hmm.
is a bit of a dick about it. Like they get to the, oh well, Sophie takes them on a shopping spree in Paris because Sophie's got royalty money.
Yeah, Sophie's rich.
Yeah.
Like, she's
And then
rich.
they go to the ballet. Dimitri, at first Sophie and Dimitri put on this little show where Sophie's like, no, she will see no one else, but she's clearly letting him through. But then the Empress is like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing it. Sophie's like, oh, you should really go now. But Dimitri like sneaks back anyway. The grandma, she's just like, no, I said I'm not because I know like con men like you have been dolling up and teaching young women all of the like history and stuff. And he's like, no, you don't understand, but this one's real. And then she recognizes his name and she's like, wait, you're a con man from St. Petersburg. She's like, no, you're especially untrustworthy.
You put out auditions. I know.
Anastasia hears this, gets rightfully upset because like she didn't know anything about this and she genuinely is just trying to find her family if she has one.
Yeah.
Uh, she has this necklace that she's had since, which will be important because like Dimitri has this music box and the key to the music box is a pendant that Anastasia has, and it was a secret between her and her grandma. And after the ballet, Dimitri essentially kidnaps the Empress Dowager in a way that is far too easy to be believable. But we're going to ignore that and just let
Yeah,
it
it was fully just whoop. All right, cool. You're kidnapped, and here you are. Oh,
literally just as her driver was shutting her door, he gets in the car and steals the car. And then takes her. No security or anything is sent after the
yeah.
car. It's not like they know the car's license plate, but anyway. So
It's not
he
like they
takes
can't
her.
chase the crazed man going through Paris.
Yeah, he's like, you can. He's like, just talk to her and stuff. And she's like, you're just not gonna give up. He's like, I'm stubborn. And she's like as stubborn as you. And she goes in and she like at first she's just humoring it and stuff. And Anastasia's like, oh, she's like, well, I'm hoping to find my family, that you're my family. And the grandma's basically just like, I almost believe you. And then she starts to leave, and
Oh, you're saying new
Anastasia,
things I've never heard before. Interesting.
she recognizes the scent of her grandma's hand lotion, peppermint. And then she like the scent triggers her memory and she's like, oh, I spilled a bottle of your peppermint. And then the the rug always smelled of peppermint, and she's like, and I laid on it and smelled you when I missed you when you were here in Paris. And like you can kind of tell that things are slowly coming back to her now. So the grandma sits down and they like talk a little bit more, and she like shows her the music box, and they realize like when the music box starts playing, they sing the song together, and she's like, "Oh, it is my granddaughter." Uh, so they're reunited. Vlad and Dimitri, like Vlad doesn't need the reward money anymore. He doesn't need anything. He's with Sophie now. He's set for life.
Yeah, Vlad's like, I got my girl. I don't care.
He's like, I'm good. My sugar mama will take care of me. And Dimitri turns down the money. I don't really understand why, but he does. It's supposed to like be this like deeply, oh, it proves that like he what, but like no, he's still poor. He's still like
Yeah, I don't
nothing.
know. I feel like, can I get like 2 rupees, maybe 3? Maybe not
It's
like
a feel
all of
good kids movie, so on that part, yeah, but practically. And then the grandma and Anastasia, they're watching the ballet, I think, together, and the grandma is basically like, "Hey, I love you. I'm happy that I found you and that you're alive, but I'm old and I don't have a lot of life left to live. You're young and in
them.
love, and he didn't take the money, so go after him." And then she goes after him, and then hey, our villain pops up, and Rasputin is there, and then
The entire time I'm like,
he tries to kill her with his hell powers, and she and Dimitri fight him and stuff, and she like ends up breaking the glass thing that I guess is supposed to house his soul or something.
the
It's a
phylactery.
physical manifestation of the contract, and she breaks it, and so Rasputin dies and goes to green
Hell.
green not Disney but Disney villain hell. And then she and Dimitri like they run off to be together and with the grandma's blessing. So, as to
Yeah.
whether or not this is a romance, I think it's just an adventure story as an adventure with a really good romance subplot. Because I do think you could tweak a few things, completely remove the romance, and the heart of the story remains the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like, he could just, like, upon the like there is nothing that he or she do out of romantic emotion that one could not do another way, like
Yeah, like as an adventure story or
yeah,
something.
like him being, being so stubborn and telling the grandma, no, that really is your granddaughter. He doesn't necessarily have to be in love with her to do that, because Dimitri as a kid like tried to save her, and so he could have done that out as an obligation to just like finish what he started in a way,
Yeah,
or to like reconnect them, just because he's not the a piece of trash, you know?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then her going, so the only like hang up we get is her leaving early, but like again that doesn't necessarily have to be out of romantic love. She could have just been like, oh, I need to like go talk to him and stuff, because like I forgive him and he can, take the money and live comfortably. Or they could have not fought in the first place. Or like there could have been an added scene where they make up with each other
Yeah.
without the money situation. Like
Without
Rasputin could
smooching.
have attacked in a different way. That it would not have been very difficult to change that for it to still have made sense.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
that is my feelings on it being a romance, not a romance. Um, I still really enjoyed it though. I think it still has a really cute love storyline. It's much more about familial love, in my opinion.
Yeah, because isn't that like that's the whole like catalyst of it is I want to find my family.
Yeah. Let's see. Blake said the Crystallemma continues. This Crystallemma precedes the other Crystallemma. Christopher Brown and Christopher Lee came before the Marvel Chris's.
Oh God, I was thinking of the other of your Chris. And I was like, oh no, what'd he do? What happened?
Oh
Oh
no.
no. And then it's just like, oh, Hollywood and all the Chris's. Yeah, there's so many.
Uh, my Chris said Anastasia, I believe, was like always thought of being dead during the uprising. It's just someone had come up claiming she was Anastasia, and it was a whole media thing. And I think that's where the "what if she survived" stories came about. That that might be it.
Yeah,
I know that I recently read or watched something where a history buff went on this tangent about like they don't like certain representations. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember. It was interesting at the time. They were watching an adaptation of Anastasia, but it wasn't this one. And they were talking about how one of the sisters was shown to be bratty, and like, but that one was the sweetheart. And
that
I was
one was the nice one.
I didn't realize there was a whole thing here. But yeah, and then Chris also confirms that Sophie is the Empress Dowager's cousin.
Yeah, 'cause I do remember them saying, "Oh, we're off to see the cousin," and that's where she's like, "I thought we were off to see the Empress." It's like, well, you got to get through her cousin first, and that's when she's like, "Oh, I didn't know there had to be an interview," and
Yeah.
that's when they start the whole training to be, Anastasia, all that fun jazz.
So, so did you like the movie enough that people were cutting onions?
Oh my gosh, someone was cutting onions in my room, and it was so rude.
So
I didn't even get any onions.
who is your favorite character?
Oh, Barkus, easy, hands down.
The
I
little
love him so much.
that pink bat that came out of nowhere at the
At
end.
the end, man, my favorite scene ever is just before the ball when Rasputin is like, "Oh, I have to look nice. I'm gonna go see them in person." And he's like, "Oh, I'll teach you all the latest dance moves." He's like, "You start like this, and you get really wild with your hips." And then he's like, "I'm gonna kill her." And he's like, "What if he didn't though? Like, what about dancing? Like, I thought we were gonna do this. We're not doing this. Oh, okay,
Right.
cool.
I don't know if he was supposed to be his like dark magic familiar or like why Barkus
Yeah,
specifically was with
yeah,
respect.
yeah. I don't know why Barkus was there or doing whatever he was doing, but I love him so much. And I like at the very end when Rasputin's doing all of his like attacking stuff. Barkus is like, "I'll be over here, boss.
Just be over here,
Okay,
not doing
uh,
anything, not.
yeah, you do what you do. I'll be here, vibing, I guess." It's like, Barkus, why are you here? What are you doing?
He doesn't know. He didn't sign up for this.
He- I don't think he did because in the beginning, when like Anastasia entered like the old palace or whatever as an adult, the phylactery reacted and he was tied to it. I don't think we've seen
Yeah.
him before that. So like, where did he come from? Why is he here?
Well, okay, so he was. It seemed like he was guarding the phylactery, so that's why I think maybe he was Rasputin's familiar.
Maybe? I mean, it makes sense, but I guess it's kind of weird that he doesn't know because
He just doesn't. The personality doesn't seem to.
well, because then also like between the 10-year gap, if he's had the Rasputin's phylactery this whole time, and he has no idea what it is or why it's important. He's a bad familiar. He's bad at his job.
He didn't think he'd ever have to do it again.
I mean, yeah, this is true. He thought his boss was dead, and he was like, "All right, cool. I'm just living, I guess,
What did
living
you
in this
think of
palace."
Dimitri?
I didn't see it coming because, guys, I'm gonna spoil something for you. I'm an idiot. Um, I didn't know he was the kitchen boy until she said, "I remember like this boy who opened up a wall," and he said, "Oh shit, she's the princess." I was like, "You're the kitchen boy." That because at first I was like, "Oh, he's just a con man. They're gonna slowly like fall for each other." I can see the shit a mile away. And then it's like, you're the kitchen boy? Oh, buddy, you're finishing. You have a mission to do. You're finishing a job.
Do
Your
you
job is to get the princess out. And guess what? You're getting her out, buddy.
So in his original design, he did not have what they call a broken nose. It just looks like a bumpy nose to me.
I was
But
gonna
like,
say, was it?
well, it's supposed to look like his nose broke and then didn't heal properly. But they, like, in their original design, they thought he was too handsome, so they gave him a broken nose. And then audiences tested that they found him more handsome after the broken nose.
I feel like okay. I think this is just an internal. Never mind. I was gonna be like, I feel like they did that with Flynn Rider too from Tangled, but I think that's just an in movie joke. Anywho, um, although that does that does remind me of another thing that someone commissioned a statue of Satan to depict him and be like, oh, he's bad and awful, but he's too hot. So then the guy hired the sculptor's brother to be like, I need you to make Satan, blah, blah. He made him even hotter. Like, oh, you didn't like my brother's statue? 1 second.
Like, we're messed up.
Yeah. But that's so funny that they're like, he's too handsome, break his nose. Everyone else is like, a broken nose, you say? Color me intrigued.
If anyone was concerned about their ages, Anastasia is after the
18.
time skip. She's about 18, and Dimitri's
Yeah.
about 20. So they don't actually have a big age gap. It's only 2 years.
Because they do, he does say, because he was like, I think he was like, oh, what's your last name? She's like, I don't know. I haven't known since before I was 8 years old. That's when I, was woke up and living in the orphanage. I'm like, okay, so it's been 10 years. Okay, she's 18. Okay, good. I'm glad we established this early.
Yeah, when I first watched it, Dimitri looked a lot older than 20 to me. So I was like, how old are you, sir?
I do like that they have like the smile lines, and every time I look at them, I'm like, there's no way you two are like young adults. You're old. Just
Who,
because they
Dimitri?
do 2 lines here.
No, he's lived he's lived a hard life.
Well, Anastasia also has them occasionally
Yeah.
too, which is so funny to me. I'm like, you look so much older now, and it's just the two
Well,
little lines.
also, the Empress Dowager is voiced by Angela Lansbury, who is a gem.
Ooh, I love Angela. I love her so much. I
She
like everyone voiced in this.
Her having a Russian accent in this movie kept throwing me off because I had been watching Murder She Wrote for a while, and I'm like, I'd be like,
Wait a
why do
minute.
you sound like that?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's also Mrs. Potts in
Mrs.
Beauty and the
Potts.
Beast.
Tale as old as time. Okay.
Interesting fact about that, she did not want to sing that song. She felt that they should
Really?
hire a voice actress who was far more skilled in singing than she was, and she
Okay.
only sang it as so that it could be a placeholder, so they could animate to the song. But everybody liked it so much and stuff that they convinced her to let them use it as the official recording. But yeah,
Huh.
she was like, "I'm not a singer," so
Right. That's usually how that goes, though. I mean, not usually, but that's sometimes how that goes.
but yeah, so as far as the voice cast goes, they had some nice. Uh, oh God,
They
my
have good
mind just
choices.
blanked.
Good choices. Good choices.
Also, Puka is named after the little like Celtic Irish spirit, and he gets up to mischief and stuff. So
Which is Puka her dog, or is Puka a random dog?
I think, well, like I don't
Because when
think it
she's
was
like, oh,
her
he's
dog at the
fine.
beginning. I'm pretty sure she meets him on the road, and then he becomes her dog.
Okay, because I'm like, she's like,
Because
oh,
I
give me a
know
sign,
I'm pretty
and
sure
then he shows up.
she leaves the orphanage, and then
Yeah.
she gets to the sign where one way will take her where she's supposed to go to get a job, and the other
Yeah.
way will take her where she wants to go to find her past. and
Yeah.
that's when she finds Puka, and she and Puka
Yeah.
go on a
Go
journey
on an adventure,
to the
yeah.
past.
Ah, I don't know, it's cute shit. I like it. Some cute shit, guys. I
The fashion in it
uh,
is
love
fun.
it.
It's got
I
some
like that
positions
everyone changes clothes all the time
frequently.
to represent the passage of time. Because there's some animated shows, mainly shows, TV shows, because that's the whole design of it. Where it's like, you're in the same shirt for 7 years.
It all depends on budget.
Yeah, oh yeah. But it's like I do like that it's like, there's so many different outfits to represent the passage of time. To be like, oh, because the trip from because also changes seasons. The trip from Russia to France is like to us like an hour, but to them it's weeks and months. And it's nice to actually see that in and not just have like all of them wearing like the same overcoat. To be like, all right, well, overcoat, you know, throw them in the same trench coat. That way you can't tell. I also do like how Vlad talks about Sophie.
That man is a man who
He's smitten. He is
he's
smitten, and so
smitten.
is she. I
He's
was
smitten.
half
He will do anything for her.
I was half expecting Sophie to not be into him, but I'm so
No.
she's just as into him as he's into her. Like I'm so happy when I saw her, and he's like, "Oh, Sophie," and gave all the nicknames, and she gave just as many nicknames. I'm like, "Oh, she's in, perfect. I love her. She's great." And
They
like you
just
said,
they
I
I
like that they're
couldn't
both.
tell because I don't speak Russian. I couldn't tell if she went into sweet talking him in Russian or if she was just saying his full name. But
I
her
know.
tone said she was doing both.
I know. I was like, "Is this his full name?" But I see a lot of the same letters, and I don't speak Russian, so I can't tell.
Like as a kid, I
And
thought she was like sweet talking him in Russian, but when I was watching it back this time, I'm like, is she just saying his full name?
interesting. I also do like that both of them are bigger bodied.
Yes, and they're both very comfortable in their bodies
Yes.
and with each other in their bodies, and I love that.
And they're both fashionable. And they're both like, oh no, I look hot in this. It's
The
like,
my only complaint with Sophie is that like one of her outfits is very high fashion Perry. And I oh those sleeves. I cannot.
I mean, she is a
You
parent
know
and she is a rich
the yellow
lady.
dress at the Russian ballet? The sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm like, Sophie, why?
Listen,
She's
she's
trying
a
to make
French
sure nobody
lady.
can see her cry at the ballet is what she's doing.
Exactly.
Other than that though, I
Exactly.
love all of her outfits.
All of her outfits are so good. I like that she spent the time to interview Anastasia just for her to go, oh, yeah, no, the Empress isn't going to see her. Do, do, do. And then she's like, do you guys like the Russian ballet? Because we
I
never miss it.
I think for
Ever.
so I think
We
for
don't.
Sophie, she really want because even though Sophie kind of looks younger than them, Sophie should be about the same age as Vlad and the
Yeah.
Dowager Empress, or like
She just looks really good for her age.
theoretically, she just doesn't have any gray in her hair yet, or it's dyed
Yeah.
away. One of the
Or
two
yeah.
could be either. But like, I think Sophie really wants the Empress Dowager to be happy. And I think
Oh yeah.
she knows that finding Anastasia would like make her happy. And so like that's her main goal, but I don't think she actually gets the gravity of how much it hurts
Hmm.
the Dowager, the Dowagess,
Yeah.
the Empress Dowager
Yeah.
every time it's false. Every time it's not her.
Yeah.
So that would be my one poor it's the situation.
I know I'm giggling. It's not the phrase you said. I just remembered my favorite side character that has one line is the imposter Anastasia for when they were trying to do the audition.
Which one? You mean the one who like drops her coat? Hi, Grandma, it's me.
Me,
Anastasia.
Anastasia.
The one who sounds like she's been chain smoking longer than Anastasia's been alive.
Yes, yes, yes. The one who sounds like a. This is gonna sound bad, but it's not meant to be. She sounds like a drag queen. And it's like, yep,
Yeah, well, some drag queens sound like they've been chain smoking longer than
chain
a
smoking since they were
13-year-old
2 years
has
old.
been alive.
Yeah,
Um,
I love her. She. The moment I saw her, I'm like, this is a great movie.
she
That's my fun
was
fact.
she was shaped the way that like most animators would animate a fashionable
Yes,
Parisian woman. So
yes.
it's a fun contrast too.
I also watched it on Amazon Prime or on Amazon Video, and there's an X-ray where it gives you like all the characters and who their actors are, and her character's name is just Imposter Anastasia, and it's like, I don't even have a name.
That's fair. I will say, like the imposter that like they showed actually talking to the grandmother before the others got there. She
Mhm.
looked a lot like her. I was like, oh, I too would
Oh,
trust no one and nothing if I was the grandma. I was like,
I would as well. And I also do like that when Dimitri's like, oh, I used to be a kitchen boy. Even the grandma's like, huh, I haven't heard that one before.
that's a new one. And he's
Yeah, it's
like,
like, oh, that's a new one. And even Sophie was like asking harder questions, and
well,
her
the only she said she'd think of some harder ones, but the only one that I would argue would have been difficult that we are aware of is the how did you escape?
you escape.
She
Yeah,
didn't even actually make because
she says that
Anastasia
it's a
said we escaped
boy.
to the wall, but Sophie didn't like
She
wasn't
doesn't
like
know
oh
that.
yes or oh no. Like I don't think Sophie knew the answer.
Yeah,
So
because she was like, some boy opened up a hole in the wall. That sounds crazy. Meanwhile, Dimitri in the back is having a crisis, like, oh no, this really is the princess. Oh
yeah.
shit.
And they're like, how'd you escape? He goes, fuck, 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 fuck. We didn't go over
Fuck,
that.
fuck, 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 fuck. Oh no. And then she's like, some boy opened a hole in a wall. He's like, how'd she know the right answer? Did I tell her that? Did I coach her? No, I didn't.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. It's her. And in the beginning, she goes by Anya.
Yeah, Anya. Because that's all she remembers. She just
It's
remembers.
also, I don't know, it's kind of cute. It's
It is.
close enough to Anastasia, but it's not like enough to trigger anything really. I don't know, it's
But
cute.
I don't have anything else to say about it. Do you?
Honestly, Barkus is my favorite character. It's really fucking cute. I like the fashion. Everyone's adorable. Um, I like Rasputin as a bad guy because he's deplorable and despicable, and he looks that way. Um, when you're making the joke of him going to Disney villain hell, I was thinking of him going to like an offshoot where all the Disney villains are like on the other side of like a very thin wall, like having a great time being villains, and he's just on the other side, unable to join them because he's not really Disney. The music's good. I cried when the Empress Dowager realized it was Anastasia. And she was like, "Oh, my Anastasia," and I was just like, "God damn it! Like, I love me some
What was your
United
favorite
Family
song?
shit." The only one I can remember off the top of my head right this second is the December song,
Once Upon a December.
Once Upon a December. But there were a few where I'm like, I could listen to this, on
Yeah.
my own. Okay. Okay, I forgot this was a musical. Okay, I do. I also like the first one in St. Petersburg was like the gossip of St. Petersburg gets them through their day.
Yeah.
I
Have
also like
you
that one.
heard
Yeah, haven't you
the gossip
heard?
of St. Petersburg? Have you heard what they're saying on the streets?
Yeah. Um, that's really it. It looks beautiful. It looks pretty. The CGI can be a
My
little
favorite
jarring.
my favorite song is a tie between Once Upon a December and Rasputin's song, his villain song.
I do like me a good villain song.
But all right, so we'll go
Yeah,
ahead
that's
and
it.
close it out. Catch me and CB Wednesday for Whip Wednesday. We got a book talk for A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting this weekend.
Ooh.
Yes. And we have a Flash Fiction Free for All next week. So,
Hey, you guys get to watch us panic and sweat. Well, you may watch me and Sam sweat because last time Fox tried to make us
I don't
sweat.
know.
Me and
The way
Sam were
I've been
like
lately,
dying.
I might actually panic. I might cry. Who knows?
Oh,
Tune in to find
yeah.
out.
Tune in right now. You may see us all cry on camera. Who knows? And then Stevie will win magically.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.